Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe if you are enjoying what you are hearing. Now, on to today's story. Wife was talking to another guy. To shorten a long story, me and my wife have been distant for about a year. Not unhappy but distant. We have been together for 3 years and have a 2-year-old child. We were both married before met each other and had an affair and got together. She lately has been extra angry with me oft about my ex-wife. She has a strong hate for my ex due to the amount of child support I pay and that my ex often fails as a mother in many aspects. I had noticed her anger and distance grow larger in the past few weeks. She also has shown zero interest in me physically. So yes, I did a bad thing and gained access to her phone. Last night while fighting about my ex, I noticed she was texting extremely large amount. I checked her FB messages and she was talking to a guy about kink, see, and if he came to town getting a hotel. Naturally I lost it. Today she is still here but she is angry at me demanding access to my phone. She also claims it was just talk and she wouldn't go through with it. She says she resents me due to my ex and out of habit sought attention in the only way she learned how. She also blamed alcohol. When I bring up a breach of my trust, she says he is one state over, it's not like I fucked him. I'm lost on what to say or do. I don't want to divorce again, but I have zero trust for her now. If I bring up the lack of trust, she becomes more angry at me. I have no idea what to do. Caught my wife sexting. Need support. So I 36 3 days ago found a Facebook message my wife 33 was sending to another guy she knows saying if he ever came to town she would meet him at a hotel. He lives about 3 hours away, but I freaked out on her. After arguing, I told her that for her to stay in the house she had to follow 3 rules. 1. Cut all contact with all guys. 2. Go to therapy weekly. 3. Stop drinking. She claimed it was a stupid drunk mess up. She does have a bit of a drinking issue and mental health issue regarding self-image/worth. She seemed sincere in her apology, cried a lot, and agreed to my term because she loved me and wants us to work. That night I went through her phone as she slept and found her using a second FB account. Less than 3 hours after our talk she tried to contact the guy again to apologize, tried to contact an ex-BF to send him photos she found of his dad that passed. I also found nude photos in her deleted folder of her picture app from 5 days before. I kicked her out and she went to her mom's. Told her she cannot come back till she proves she wants to work on herself and our marriage. I told her that if contacting other guys to sext, though it's not sex, is cheating in my mind. She says it was only talk to fill negative attention needs and she had no desire to actually meet. She has scheduled therapy, and has called me the past 2 mornings to talk about our marriage. She says she is messed up in the head and her issues cause her when she is unhappy to seek negative attention from guys. She has been sexually abused as a teen. She knows this is wrong and wants to fix herself to be happy for once in her life, and to stay with me. She ping-pongs in emotion though. She will go from "I'm sorry, I know it was wrong and I love you" to hours later mad I won't let her come home even though she apologized and has made appointments for therapy. I have set the standard through action. She has to show me she wants to change and make this work. But I fear that she has done more than I have found out and that maybe I'm just comfortable and safe, that she really doesn't love me and want me. Maybe that is why she sought after this guy's attention. I have no idea how to really settle this and repair the damage and lack of trust now. I don't know really what she has to do to make me trust her ever again. I love her more than anything, but I am afraid she won't follow through on fixing herself for once. If she doesn't put the effort in, we will be done, I am sure. How about you tell her parents the reason why she kicked out? I told them. They know. She's a serial cheater, and that means validation issues. Honestly speaking, validation issues are irredeemable. She needs assurance from people to verify her self-worth, and that manifests in the form of her affairs. That black hole inside her is not gonna go away, not easily. I'm telling you. For most people, leaving is 90% of the time the correct option. For serial cheaters, there's no coming back. Leaving is 100% of the time the correct option. Or you accept the fact she will keep cheating on you and becoming better at hiding it. She's a serial cheater, and that means validation issues. Honestly speaking, validation issues are irredeemable. I wish I had known this before I began dating my ex-husband. I learned that he had cheated on his previous girlfriend, but he convinced me it was because he needed external validation and wasn't used to receiving it, so he had no idea that the woman was hitting on him until they were having sex. I know, I'm such an idiot for believing that. Of course, he cheated on me and blamed his validation issues again. Validation issues that years of therapy had failed to address. Validation issues that I think will never be solved, but will only get worse with time. Thank God I left. I'm so sorry for what happened to you. Don't bash yourself too much about it. NRE and rose-tinted glasses are extremely good at blinding people to their partner's real faces. Validation issues are just an excuse. You don't need to use people as supply. There's so many other options you can use, instead of depredating and feeding on people's emotions. I have horrible validation issues, but I know for a fact I'll never cheat on anyone in my life. I'm not sure about others, but I think my validation issues will be a permanent fixture in my life. Always the child looking for the affection and validation his father denied him. It's fine though. Everyone's ducked up. Everybody has issues. All I can do is pick myself up, dust myself off and have a good go at it. And what's their reaction other than forever obvious blind support for her, just assuming? You need to get a timeline of the whole damn affair. Do you think she was also having a fling with her ex? Are there kids in the equation? The only person that can tell you the complete truth is the AP, affair partner. But the question is that in order to get the whole truth and see how messed up your wife is, do you have the stomach to talk to AP? You did the right thing. You need to have standards. Personally, I'd divorce her ASAP. If she resorts to sexting when she's bored or needs attention, then I doubt that would work long term. You'll be forever on guard and paranoid she's up to no good. No one needs to live like that. She carries an emotional package and probably a lot of daddy issues from the sound of it, that needs therapy for years. If Op doesn't mind her slipping up a few times along the way of her recovery, supposing she ever does recover, he should stay with her. And 30 years later he'll be happy he made that decision, to stay, but will be suffering a lot of damage in self-worth and heartache once every few months when a trigger comes up. Daddy issues means personality disorders, / validation issues, / attachment issues. You gotta run the opposite direction when you see such people. Yep, and most of the time it runs deeper than what therapy can ever deal with. Tell me about it. All I can get is talk therapy to teach me that it's bad to not act humane and selfless. I've stopped being manipulative and toxic though, well, as much as I can. Some of it leaks out at times, but I'm pretty alert enough to rein it in when needed. I'd tell you that cheating on them is the best way to ensure your disordered wayward won't cheat, but it could ducking escalate, and it's not really humane. I think my own chumping experience is a big part of my virulent hatred for adultery. Not sure though. I've always had a dislike of infidelity, even if I saw it on TV or in movies. If you go to r/as1 after infidelity to see how a reconciliation might look like. There are users who are still suffering after decades of reconciliation even when their WS is being as faithful and committed as they possibly can be, seemingly at least. If someone doesn't mind suffering for the next X years until he or she reaches the grave, or divorce, by all means they should consider reconciliation. They might be happier 99% of the time staying with their WP, if the reconciliation succeeds, but in that 1% they will absolutely loathe themselves for staying. I would say from what I have seen, the only way you can stay together and really get rid of your pain, that will be part of the reconciliation, is only if you did a similarly horrible thing to your spouse too. For example, you beat her up when you heard about the infidelity, say hi to jail time. You cheated too, for real, not as payback, and she gets to find it herself after many months of cheating, not you telling her like a chump. Requires a lot of game under your belt to pull it off. You tell her, then and there, that you will be dating other women and she can have her AP, and you commit to seriously date other women, 100% serious to move on, and after your 10th date with a better woman, when your wife is on her knees begging you for the 20th time to stop, you stop. I truly believe if true reconciliation is attempted after such events, you would have your heart while staying with her after what she did. Other than that, no matter how many therapy sessions you book, it will be a painful endeavor. Yeah, of course, lol. Adulterers love to minimize the impact of their actions. Methods 2 and 3 would break her enough she'd realize what she did to her husband. I personally went for method 3, myself, except I didn't stop. I know, but there was no other way. I retain a semblance of self-respect and self-worth. Completely agree about the first part. Reconciliation just means a lifetime of being stuck with betrayal trauma and its source. What a pitiful life. I don't really like espousing the ideology here, but imho, you should keep your girl in dread level 5 throughout the relationship, and ratchet it up to level 8 after D-Day. There's nothing quite like seeing your girl register the fact that there's blood in the water and other sharks are circling. And the facial expression when she realizes you followed all your crazy threats up, priceless. Ha ha ha, you're ruthless. You say she seems sincere, but then you caught her texting these guys again a bit later. Nothing sincere about that. Clearly no remorse from her part. She also said to that guy on FB she was going to meet him in a hotel, but then the second time you confront her she tells you she has no desire to meet these men. Another lie. If you wouldn't have caught her, she would have met him in a hotel. She checks all the boxes of a woman that isn't worth reconciliation. She keeps lying, she immediately continues texting with a secret FB account, she doesn't take responsibility for her actions but blames it on her abuse. She might have a mental problem, and even if that is the reason for her urge to keep on cheating, that doesn't mean that now you should forgive her for that. If she comes with a mental problem that makes it impossible for her to stay in a monogamous relationship, then she shouldn't be in one. Hang tough. While there may be actual emotional/psychological issues with your wife, you have uncovered that she's really not apologetic in the least. Keep your space and make sure she knows she is on very thin ice, and it's April. So she's at her mom's house probably sexting up a storm. If she was willing to make the decision 3 hours after confronting her, she's sure as God made green apples, sexting guys this very minute cause you're not there to monitor her behavior. Test my theory, invite her for coffee, and when she comes, ask to see her phone. If she balks even for a second, you know she's doing it. I hope for your sake that I'm wrong, but I really doubt it. Please get a post-nup drafted if you really intend on taking her back, man. Everyone has limits, so do you. Please set very specific boundaries this time. You may think of putting a tracker and/or a keylogger on her phone, to truly test her loyalty. She may have issues, but cheating is not of the spur of the moment, the texts, the thoughts, the smiles, it is betrayals. Also, how about the kids? If they are mature enough, you may want to let them know the true extent of the situation to prevent her from manipulating them. All the best and keep moving forward, brother. You need to check her accounts again, maybe she cheated before. You caught her sexting, but that doesn't mean she didn't go further than that before. Investigate and gather evidence in case of a divorce. Take screenshots of her talk with that guy. Never lose evidence, upload it to as many places as you can in case of, let's say, lose your phone etc. In divorce, if you don't have any evidence and she denies it, you are done. Talk to a lawyer to get more info. Just make it a little more serious, tell her you are talking to an attorney, looking into separation crap, make sure you get a post-nup if you are willing to get her back, you must protect yourself. I am definitely thinking of a post-nup if I let her come back. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Have an awesome day or night, wherever you are.